Good evening, fellow UNFers and families. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening. We couldn't have made it through this incredible journey without every one of you. I would also like to thank our class for picking me for this speech, although it wasn't really a surprise because I'm obviously the smartest one in the program. Can you believe we're sitting here right now? It's like so surreal. I still feel like they're gonna call me up next week and be like, Sarah, you need to come pay $300 to retake the HESI 6 more times before we can send your diploma. Then I'll get a bill for this microphone probably, and the screen, and the auditorium, and the time slot that we're using. School costs us so much money, but good thing we'll be nurses, right? I have prepared some Jeff Foxworthy-inspired jokes. Although they might not be as funny, rednecks are a little easier to make fun of than nurses. You might be a nurse if you disappear for 2 years and your friends and family forget your name. You feel guilty on a Saturday for not studying, and the only parties you attend are the study kind. You might be in nursing school when your most often used phrases are, "Why are we doing this?" and "FML." Or you write a paper that's over 79 pages, and as long as it's APA worthy, you're good. You know you're in nursing school when you shove lotion, chapstick, lip gloss, or Vicks Vapor Rub in your nostrils to try and mask all the various aromas in the hospital. You know you're in nursing school when there's so much information crammed in your head that it prevents you from doing your ADLs. People suddenly realize you're semi-attractive only when you have a presentation, because you either bathe, put on makeup, and wear something other than sweatpants or workout clothes. You know you're in nursing school when you find yourself checking out random strangers' arm veins in public. You discover what a panic or an anxiety attack feels like. You've developed a new onset of IBS and/or every other disease or disorder we've learned about. You finally realize after multiple attempts at taking an oral temperature that there's a significant difference between the red and blue thermometers. That wasn't me. You might have a test the next day when you've had so much coffee that it's equivalent to crack. You've spent countless hours at the gym to kill time. It's 3 a.m. and you realize that you still have 1,500 more PowerPoint slides to go through. Your entire class is on Facebook talking about how doomed they are and hoping that you studied even less than they did. Your whole apartment or house is spotlessly clean with all the laundry and dishes done, and you've even got on your hands and knees with a toothbrush to scrub the cracks on the floor. We'd do anything but study. All right, we're moving up now. You know you're a nurse when caffeine has lost its effect on you. You've gained 45 pounds without knowing it because you're constantly in scrubs. You actually encourage people to pass gas. And you somehow can read physicians' orders, even though they look like they were just trying to test the pen out on the paper. You might be a nurse if you can talk about every type of body fluid or function, wound or event, while indulging in your lunch without getting nauseated. You know you're a nurse when you can only tell time in a 24-hour clock. Your bladder can expand to the same size as an RV's water tank. You can never walk silently because of all the junk in your pockets. You'd like to track down the inventor of the call bell and take him outside. And when checking the orientation of a patient, you aren't really sure of the answer. Alright, I don't want to spoil any more fun for your future. Many of our classes, including health assessment, therapeutics, and adult health, required around-the-clock studying and reading in order to pass. Lots of stress and effort went into the preparation for these courses. As far as the other classes go, ethics, nursing science, and community. Thank goodness for Facebook chat. And no teachers, we weren't diligently taking notes. Did I push that one? Sorry. Speaking of teachers, let's take a few minutes to reminisce about some of our unique faculty members. I still get to graduate, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Dr. Bloom. Highly intelligent. At first she can seem like she's uncaring and intimidating, but you soon find out that she really does care, but is still really intimidating. Although she scared the crap out of everyone, you couldn't help but appreciate her duck walk. It was really the best way to test out musculoskeletal strength. We'd be happy for you to take one last demonstration if you don't. Mr. Aarons, big old daddy warbutts. He's always good for dumbing things down when everyone else thought we were geniuses already. You could always go to him for some cinnamon bread and a good cry. He nicknamed me Marshmallow because of all the times I went crying to him. Little did he know I was really faking it to get some candy that he was hoarding. I love you, Mr. Aarons. I won't forget you, because remember, no child left behind. Dr. Cummings and Dr. Holder, thank you. You were the reason we passed adult health and allowed us all to be here today. I'm sure it will all pay off when you're both on Oprah for the 45 million hits on our SimLab videos you posted on YouTube. Dr. Como, she was always so animated. She would throw her hands up and talk about all the little kids we took care of and the babies in the hospital. We had fun listening to her lectures. Everyone, at age 3, that's when you learn how to ride a tricycle. And stuff too. Julie Baker Townsend, JBT. Dudes, I really don't think I can describe in words our experience with her. She was really determined for us to learn and made sure we had fun doing it. We'll never forget her impressions, especially how precipitous labor was NG, dudes. Dr. Fist Pumps Anchetta. When she taught about fight or flight during adult health, I literally experienced the phenomenon when she walked in front of me. She was always promising cookies for answering questions. I answered correctly, but I never saw any cookies. Dr. Ho, she wanted me to have everyone click in one last time, but she couldn't figure out how to work the clicker program. Where is she? I hope she's not somewhere sleeping through my speech. Dr. Roush, the most exciting part about family and community was not only the windshield survey through the ghetto and other various parts of town, but witnessing how many Diet Cokes you could consume during our 4-hour class. Dr. Regenovic, we all had an amazing time at diabetes camp. I wish I could say the same about nursing science. But yeah, the puppet show was a great success, even though they all looked like they had suffered strokes. Aside from developing type 2 diabetes myself, from all the goodies they gave us and the snacks I may have stolen from the kids, we all learned a lot and had a blast. Oh no, I feel dizzy. Like, really, really dizzy. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard, but Sanjay pooped on the floor. Sorry, select you. You might want to have Fish Stick Lady get on that. Dr. Vandenberg. It was hard to tell sometimes if we were on the behavioral health unit in the hospital or in your classroom. Both places were equally as exciting and psychotic. You were a great demonstrator. Oh, and FYI, you might want to pop a benzo soon. I heard they're having a velvet-covered little person jump out of the cake later. I'm thinking the milieu might be a little overstimulated after that. Thank you, teachers, for making our dysfunctional family able to overcome any obstacle that has and will be thrown at us. You've shaped us into amazing nurses. Nursing school has been one of the hardest challenges for many of us. We each had our own struggles, but our passion for nursing allowed us to power through. There were times when the easiest things to do would be to give up. No matter how badly any of us wanted to quit, we all knew that the hard work and dedication would pay off. We're so lucky to be here right now with our families celebrating this honor. We won't miss the endless stress and anxiety or the transgendered mannequins we used to practice on. No more practicing skills like shots and IVs on each other, which I'm sure is in some way illegal. No more tests, PowerPoints, or presentations, and no more working for free or under an instructor's wing. We will be nurses, disciplined, independent, and able to withstand anything. As I bring my speech to a close, I would like to remind you all of one last thing before Katie Shoup gets up here and has to say something. No matter what you've learned in nursing school, no matter where you go or what you do with your life, just remember this. There is only one race, the human race. Thank you all again for coming.